Kill Sector. Higher purpose. Deep in the vacuum of space, traveling around in a strange alien vessel known as the Lemon, we have our three adventurers, our three gladiators, those that can fit definition. Within the confines of this strange, oval ship with tendrils around the nose is a pilot, the familiar harvestman named Click, the minion that was spared, is now leading you around the cosmos, kind of taking a little bit of a drive before you hear the final word on your most recent assignment, messing with the various knobs and strange, intricate handwork required to pilot the Lemon. Click begins starting up his normal chatter.
So guys, what do you think they're gonna have for us? Some kind of mission, some kind of something. What do you think it's gonna be?
Lex just wants to eat people.
This one just wants to kill people.
I'm up for either, but I kind of want to, do something kind of interesting. I'm getting old, and I'm about to die pretty soon. I'm betting I'm going to die pretty soon, and I kind of want to do something cool.
Yeah, some death and dessert. I think we all deserve a little bit. Shouldn't be long now. It's good seeing you all. Do you like the lemon?
Why does
Very
it
new bottle.
smell so bad?
Well, that might be me. That could just be a harvestman thing. The ship's probably pristine, but not with me in it. I'm sorry.
Click hangs his head low before picking it back up and remembering that he needs to pilot a ship.
Yes, unfortunately, I am a stinky.
In the middle of the ship, a hologram is going to come up. That sickly blue, keep you awake all night color. And within that hologram is a familiar sight. Council of Fairies number 96. Hey there, my little chickadees. I got a big mission for you. Non-gladiatorial space can get real twisted. I really want you to force those kinks into submission. Your mate Click will ejaculate you onto the home world of Tex-Mex. Yeah, that's you. If you got loose ends, skeletons in your closet, or ghosts in your past, they gon' get you. Use your own moral compass to guide your pain and pleasure. I like to watch. The hologram of number 96 disappears from the room, and the normal lighting comes back on.
Well, there ain't nothing like coming home. Sorry, coming at home.
What are morals? What moral compass?
Well, I guess a moral compass is I just got feeling that people have. It doesn't mean it has to steer you in the right direction. It can go wherever, but it tries to keep you on the straight and narrow.
I don't have gut. I eat through my skin.
I noticed that when you did that to a whole bunch of my friends. That's okay. They had messed up moral compasses. So, hey. Alright, I don't know about this ejaculating business or...
What does
Is
ejaculating
word.
mean?
Well, I think what he wants is he wants me to put you guys in these little escape pods over here on the lemon, and I can eject you onto the planet's surface. That would be my guess. So, it's gonna be weird fitting Klex into there, but we'll have to give a good shot.
Along the sides of the lemon, there are a few escape pods. And I imagine after some casual pushing and shoving, Klex barely fits inside of one of these pods meant for, a multiple person evac. But it completely fills, just like a gel aquarium, almost, before sealing the door.
Well, the boot fits. The rest of you might be able to take a pod, unless you want some privacy, and that's okay. There's another one right over there.
Klex will kind of holler out, "Plenty of room in here."
Well, we can't put you in 2 escape pods. That would just be silly.
I'm eyeballing Yek's arms, remembering how good they were last time.
Quit looking at my stubs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I was talking to whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh, because I was staring at them. It's kind of a cultural thing with harvestmen. Having a long arm is said to be a holy thing, a higher plane of being. The longer the arms, whoa, look what you can achieve. Look where you can go. So, I'm a little away from that bit of the social side of it, but it doesn't stop me from staring. I'm sorry. Get into the pods. Ejaculation button.
It's going to push the big yellow button on the center console of the lemon. And you are going to be shot out of these large escape pods over onto the surface of a strange multicolored neon planet. Kind of morphing into itself.
Alright, guys, be careful down here. This planet is not hospitable. It's very dangerous. You've already lost one arm. You look like you went on a diet if you got stuffed in there. Very careful down here.
I end diet today. Are there lots of things down here to eat?
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. But just be careful. There's some weird shit down here. Weirder than me, I guess.
I was gonna say weird.
Emerging on the surface after your crash landing, getting a bit of your bearings, looking around at the neon sky, feeling the heat come off the ground. Strange, almost purplish, amorphous substance makes up where your feet are currently, at least. But 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right, and all over, there seems to be different textures, a amalgamation of materials, those toxic and organic, working in a strange, barely stable harmony. And it smells a little, too.
I thought the ship smelled bad.
Reminds me of Mom's biscuits and gravy.
You smell a familiar scent as you think of those biscuits and gravy. A scent comes across of what remains of your nose. It's not exact, but that's a real specific meal, and it smells like someone's making it right.
Does it smell appetizing to anybody else? Because Texas.
I think. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think anything smells appetizing to Klex.
Smells like well-made biscuits and gravy. With all kinds of fixins. Can't tell what those fixins are, but it seems like something good.
This one only eats rats.
Well, I'm sure there's some in there, but it's been a long time for me to actually eat. I think I'm actually going to go check this out. So, you guys want to come, or you can watch each other's backsides if you want.
Klex will
Make sure she doesn't eat your arm.
Klex will just slide out of the pod and go behind Tex-Mex. Ready to follow.
I guess I'm following along too.
How's the view back there?
Shitty.
So I have a question about Klex. Does she still have like skeletons floating around in her ooze like a gelatinous cube does?
Do I?
Or did she
I would think
completely
skeletons
decompose all
will
that stuff?
probably take longer to decompose, but I think they eventually would.
If you want a fun flavor thing of there's just a faint outline or whatever, that is completely cool. You know, if there's some non-functional, like, there's, the kind of faint bone fragments, you can kind of see like the outlines of people or things.
I think in my head,
Remember that guy?
the flesh
There's my
and
arm.
the organ stuff go away really
Can I have that back?
quickly, but the bones take longer. Upon this, I will spit out your arms, but they're gooey bone at this point. There you go. You pick it up, it kind of is like a rubber.
Mm. I'm sure there's somebody here that can probably fix those for you. Or
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Or make a cool paperweight from them.
I got a big head and little arms.
I thought your arms grew out now. Or did you update your character to still have T-Rex arms?
No, they're out.
They look like 10-year-old boys' arms.
Little hands on the end for little hand nubs.
We got a
Who was it?
situation. Okay.
Did you ever see the Saturday Night Live skit with Kristen Wiig, where she had the hands, and she would like. No. It was made to creep you out, and she would like touch your face with them.
So as you move along, gesturing through the strange, coagulated desert, you can see the name of the place where the smells are coming from. There's a big old sign that reads, "Chip off the old block." It's a restaurant, old, made of wood, made out of a lot of diagonal, uneven pieces of stone and driftwood.
Well, I'm going inside. I don't know about you guys, but this is where I'm going.
I guess I will try this biscuits and gravy shit.
Do you think they will welcome me? Just kidding. I don't care. And I'll go inside with you.
On your way in, there is no door, just an empty doorway, poorly lit. You squeeze your way on through. And when you do, you see a vast variety of your bottom of the bucket scallywags, barnacles of society, having a drink, telling a tale. And over at the bar, seems to be a familiar face as he calls out to Tex-Mex. "Hey, Tex, is that you? Don't tell me. Don't remember your old pal Chip Sipper."
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. This is a big universe, Chip. Been around the block a few times. It's just kind of hard to remember everybody's name, but wow. Okay. What you got for me today, Chip?
So this large, the bottom torso of this demon straight out of Fantasia, designed similar to Chernabog. If he were a well-dressed traditional bartender with his red bow tie and his white button-down shirt. Very dapper. The lower portion of his body not visual, but integrated with the bottom of the bar. Well, let me tell you, buddy. I got some specials. You looking for drinks, or you looking for those biscuits and gravy? Everyone's been clamoring about them.
I'm here for both. No drink. Just the biscuits and gravy, please. I don't know about these two, but I'm just here for the biscuits.
You got any leftover carcasses in the back?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, there's like a hole in the back. It's gotta overflowing. If you want to go around back and you just like absorb, you just like go up to it.
Yeah, basically, I take it inside myself, and it's delicious.
Well, if you're a friend of Tex-Mex, then go ahead. Go around back and eat some dead bodies.
I do that. I don't even wait.
Alright, Tex, we'll have yours coming up. What about you, partner? You want some rats?
Yes, that would be great.
I got a
Are they
knife for
alive
it.
or dead?
How do you prefer them?
Live, so I can rip their heads off.
Alrighty. Would you like to have that with our special gravy we use for the biscuits and gravy, but on the rats?
Sure, why not?
It's a good combo. Alrighty. So he comes out with this big old bucket of gravy and a ladle, and there's a few alive rats in like a small cage that he brings over to you. Yeah, there's like half a dozen in there.
I grab one and I look at Tex. Yeah, I just rip the head off. This is good eating.
Tell me about it. Works on anything.
I don't.
Alrighty.
Ooh. It's too liquidy.
Too liquidy. Oh, I know the deal. You notice that Chip goes over to this large pitcher of grog, and he makes sure to put it under the counter as he notices it being too close to Tex-Mex. Just some precautionary measures. Can't be too careful, can we? So, what
not if
brings
last
you
time.
guys? Oh yeah. Speaking of, how's Willa May doing? Is Willa May a-okay?
You know, I haven't heard from Willa May since the last time we were together. I don't know what she's up to. Maybe she's still hanging out with ukulele. I don't know.
Yeah, that one, ukulele too. That guy could play a tune. Brought up the spirits around the place. Alright, glad y'all like the food. You seem to be here, trying to straighten some stuff out. There's a really weird guy down over there at the end of the bar. You want to have a word with him. You're on some weird Destiny Quest stuff. I had to tell him to leave me alone. Guy wouldn't stop blabbing.
What does this guy look like?
Well, he goes over and makes sure to point him out, and as you look on over, you can see a very tall, hunched-over figure wearing a wizard's cloak with a whole bunch of runes on it that are glowing like a whitish lime green.
Is that Willa May's cloak?
Nope,
Okay,
at
good.
least I don't think so.
She had one kind of like that.
Yeah, that guy. I'm gonna go, serve the rest of these folk. It's a whole bunch of them. Ravenous today. Doodles.
All right. Thanks, Chip. I'll go talk to this wizard sleeve guy, and we'll go. No, I just walk over and sit at his table. Hey, you look pretty interesting for a man on this planet. You don't look very much like everybody else. You look like somebody important. Maybe he has something for me to do. We're on a quest. Maybe you had to have something for us to do. Kind of bored.
Well, you look quite familiar. I've seen you before.
Picking up his head, you can see like these long, kind of frayed out spiked hair. It's got like a 5 o'clock shadow looking vibe. Seems absurdly tall for a human. Maybe was once a human, but looks like he kind of ascended into something else.
Tex-Mex. Tell me, have you tried the spicy ciabatta bread, complete with the tomato bisque? Have you endured the challenges of the strawberry milkshake? Or are you willing to partake in the endeavor of French fries?
Well, the other two sound a little too moist for me, so I think I'll go with the French fries. Let me do the challenge of the fries.
A challenge of French fries. Is this why you're here? For French fries? Potatoes? You're all here.
I'm going to say
because
yes.
You are all here because you bear a mark. All of you have faded into the other world, into death. Knocked on the door. You bear the mark of death. And now, something will find you. I am not the person. I am just here to warn you. Stay safe. Be wary. For what you seek is outside these doors. Venture into the wilderness, into the heart of the Conquago landmass, into the west. Your destiny lies.
Well, I think that's where we're going to head to, and I think we should go to Quancago and get the hell out of here because this place is creeping me out. There's too much liquid in here. I can't stand bars.
Be free through that door. I've seen all your deaths. How they happened. How they went down. Be careful, for there may not be another chance. But I promise you, if your souls fade into death, my afterlife always has a spot.
The non-existent door, heading straight to outside, just kind of like wide on open. You now hear a swelling noise of all of the other folk at the bar from different walks of life and strange stars, just kind of giving off their hoorahs, and the hooded man goes back into silence, eating his ciabatta bread and French fries.
Did Did you guys come with me, or did I have to come back and explain everything?
I imagine they were at least within earshot of like some guy doing like deep breathed ranting.
I was out back eating bodies unless I finished them and came back.
I imagine that Klex is a very quick eater, quickly assimilating things into your body.
Do you think that guy saw my already death or a new death?
I think he saw our past deaths and our future ones. So, I told you this planet's crazy and it's dangerous. And we could easily die here just by stepping through that door. That's exactly kind of what he said, too.
Klex has a newfound bravery, I guess, because it was brought back from death. So no problem for me. Let's go.
Should we wait for Yak to get out of the bathroom before we head off, or should we just go and just leave him a note? I think we should just leave him a note. Oh, sounds like he's sitting down right now. Hey, Yak, sir. Yak, what's your name again? God, it's hard to remember.
Yak.
Click, clack, yak. All right. So, I'm just going to call you Thing 1 and Thing 2, and we're going to get the hell out of here. Like you said.
Who's 1 and who's 2?
Does it matter?
Well,
It don't matter.
If I'm number 2, I get to be the shit.
You are the shit. So.
You look like shit.
I'm number 2. Okay, go on.
All right. And Tex just gets up out of his chair and just walks towards the door. He doesn't.
Klex follows.
All right,
You
out
haven't
into the
noticed our
wilderness.
names. Sorry. Tex,
Huh?
Klex, Yek.
Tex, Kleck, and Yek venture deep into the wilds of the Conquago landmass. And along your way, you see expanse, a deep expanse of land. It seems to go on for a while, so it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a walk. But your guts and your intel is telling you to venture forth.
There's nothing that stands out in the area around us as we're walking, right? There's nothing like particular about it. It just all looks the same.
Yeah, not just yet. Just a lot of strange, different materials in the ground coming together, kind of a strange, coagulated adhesion. Not necessarily fully garbage, but there seems to be organic, inorganic, trash and filth and living material, small colonies of microorganisms and sludge, all kind of like weave together, Neapolitan style. And there seems to be a lot of that. You could give me a perception check.
Sure. Yeah, with the 23.
23, that's about all you can see.
I'll do one.
I think it's probably because Tex is used to being here. He's not going to really notice things that are, like the other two would.
Tex is just marching on, making his way through.
I have a 57. I assume I'm probably paying attention to see what I could possibly sample in this place.
You can make out something that looks like a tree in the distance. You can see something that kind of resembles branches with fruit at the end.
Fruit's not quite my style. You guys see that? Maybe you can eat it.
Well, sorry, I didn't even see that. So yeah, let's let's head over there, see what's going on. Kind of rare for trees to be out here, but maybe Yek can eat it.
Something to eat, yes.
So you all begin your walk towards this tree-type shape. And as you get closer and closer, there seems to be these large, definitely sweet and ripe-looking fruit hanging on the ends of these kinds of thin, somewhat withered branches.
I wonder what would happen if I plucked one.
Do it, Dorothy, do it.
Okay, I take one. And I eat it!
You grab it, pluck it right off, get that big old eat. It tastes great. Almost tastes like meat. That's a fruit, but it tastes like biting into a thing, you know? When you bite into a thing and you sink your teeth into the veins, you can pull the tendons. Seems at least better than a fruit, maybe.
Do you share that with us? Because Klex is definitely going to try that.
Try this yummy meat fruit!
Meat fruit. I move in to where a bunch of fruit's touching my body and take it in.
There are 3 of these large, enveloped, engorged, purple, ripe berries, and you assimilate 3 of them into your mass. And it's decadent. It deteriorates into layers like a truffle, or some kind of dessert, or something stuffed with gourmet cheese. It gives a nice, melty, gooey experience.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go for all the fruit I can reach, and I am a very large being.
Here it goes. We're going to be here a while.
And what does Tex-Mex think?
I'm not eating anything here. I'm sorry, not gonna.
Tex-Mex, using his instincts, is thinking of heading on down that dusty trail. And as the other 2 are grabbing fruit, all of a sudden, that gift of fruit is coming to life. That strange structure where the fruit fell begins emerging from the ground. A large V-shaped mouth erupts from the ground, being supported by these X-shaped leg roots entangled in the ground. This cackling, laughing, strange starfish-type entity, a terrestrial predatory starfish, is going to jump out and try to envelop both of which who have taken his fruit.
It looks like a rusty sheriff's badge.
Alright. So, that is going to be... Because 89 hits both of you. What's that? 164 cold damage on both that have taken the fruit, as this creature goes for a large envelopment.
So, would my good armor absorb some of that?
What was good armor? Like a minus on.
All it
Or was
says
that
is
just plus L?
it said 20 external protection.
Yep. That means from the total damage that hit you, that would be minus by 20. So it was 164, so 144. And also, both of you being enveloped by the starfish, both of you give me a grapple check, as it is now trying to envelop you with the stomach it tossed out and its limbs that it's trying to wrap around you.
So it's obviously much bigger than me.
It can be. It's thinning itself out, almost like how an octopus can kind of thin out its body.
62.
45.
Well, you both did good enough together where you managed to stop it from continuously trying to attack and drain and suck the life from you. As you manage to cast it back, it gives off a cackle almost like a hyena would.
Whenever someone touches you, am I able to try to take any part of that starfish in, or because it's too big, that's not even an option here?
He did touch you.
Okay, so would I roll
He
another
did.
grapple on that? Or is my grapple roll to get out enough?
Actually, both of you successfully doing the grapple, I would say, means that he is now enveloped into your body.
Woohoo! He gets strong
Because
out.
both of you were grappling against him at the same time.
Eat 'em.
And you
Eat
successfully
that
did a grapple.
bitch.
Yeah, so you just shove him into your partner and just...
77,
And what's the damage on that?
77 acid damage.
Alright, so that thing just goes into your body and you see it just being completely ravaged and disintegrated before it's just nothing.
How many meals is he worth?
He would be medium sized, so I believe that's 4.
Yep.
And the fruit you ate earlier would be considered 1 meal apiece. That was eaten.
Oh, I figured that probably didn't count since it happened before I got hurt. Is that right?
Well, it doesn't. I was just,
Okay.
just saying.
Is there any fruit left?
Nope. You ate all the fruit prior. There was 4 on him, and 1 was eaten, and then you enveloped 3.
All right.
So that creature gets deteriorated.
Way
And
to
I'll
go,
say,
Pig.
Thanks for the assist.
I didn't even get a chance to turn around.
Tex-Mex is just kind of continuing his walk, unfazed by the run-in prior. Tex-Mex, you hear a noise. It's a loud noise, and it's a noise that it ain't good. It's a rumbling. It's a sound that comes from the ground.
Everybody, scatter. Get ready. Something's coming. It's coming, and it's not good. So let's get ready for this. He's gonna pull his staff out, and he's gonna charge it up. So it's gonna start glowing. His little eyes are gonna start glowing.
You all can now hear the sounds that have come close enough to confirm it's a stampede. This stampede is consistent of eels, serpentine sea monsters, and leviathans, those that have breached onto land in order to cross into a larger body of water. A migratory pattern often taken by some of these creatures of the deep found on planet Zorvek.
This would be a cool way to die.
First of all, I probably shouldn't have eaten that guy because I have a weakness of battle prayer, so I'll do that going forward. Secondly, do I have enough time to maybe run to the side to let the stampede go forwards?
I think you should just split like an amoeba.
Split in 2.
So, this is how this is gonna work. All of you know a stampede is coming. You have at least a turn to try to figure out something to do, some way, somehow to brace yourself for it, get ready for it, tactics, what have you, before it reaches you. You know you at least have 1 turn of prep time before a stampede is upon you.
So, Tex is going to use his escape coat and teleport off 48 squares away. Far enough away.
Okay, so in the most opposite direction you can.
Yep. And
If you wanna reach more optimal distance, you could give me a roll for that. As far as you can go 40-something squares, but if you want to go like in the optimal spot, furthest away.
Okay, let's do that. I got a 60.
All right, so you managed to pin yourself far away and in such a spot, knowing the pattern of these stampedes, where you should at least be okay and not even grazed by the path that is ahead. You have moved such a distance where you think you're okay.
I only have 6 speed, and I can't prepare to attack without my prayer. So I guess I'll just try to move. Can I try to figure out maybe which way they're going to go and move the opposite way to maybe...
Yeah.
Try.
You can do that with a perception, or if you have a different kind of skill to try to get intel.
Be perception. 8!
You're not sure, but you know you need to go this way!
Where are those rolls when you're DMing?
That's how it
I'm using
works.
the middle dice too.
When you DM, you roll
Okay.
amazing, and when you're playing, you roll like crap.
I guess I'm just going to run in a random direction and hope for the best.
Can I use defensive teleport?
Yes, you can. You can try to do a strategic defensive teleport. So with defensive teleport, you use it upon where it's like, okay, something confirmed is going to hit me, and you can do it. So you have prep time, so you can do like a better version of it, almost, if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Alright, so basically, this turn of prep is being used to perfect that defensive teleport, so you're like, alright, I need to get that good movement and teleport away.
Can I change
Basically,
my mind?
optimizing your iframes. Alright.
Can I change my mind, perhaps?
No.
You're not the GM.
Well, what was your thought? Because you moved 6 squares and that was it.
Well,
so you can
if-
do something else.
Oh, yeah, right. I can move and basically do an action. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, then I
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
after I'm done moving, want to say my battle prayer. So when I do get smashed into, I can start trying to fight back. Let's go with this one. Oh, great gelatin salad in the sky, I humbly ask of your holy jiggle to rain divine condensation upon this battlefield, protecting myself and my allies. I ask you to take your rubbery edges and smite those that would harm in your wobbly service. Am I a pudding? And I'm ready.
That chant echoes throughout the void of the desert. As you can hear it
What
go
was
on
that?
and on and on.
I heard was pudding.
Is there a way I can use a defense, like a peril port on her, since I already used my escape cloak?
I'm trying to think. You use the escape cloak, which I think is... That's as a movement, right?
Yeah.
You did that as a move, and you used a swift. You haven't used a standard action yet, so if you have something as a standard...
I was just thinking about peril porting her over to me.
Oh, because you can do that as a standard, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is that within your range? It's within perception. And yeah, that should work. So you're going to go for it?
Yep.
Alright. The stampede is coming in, and right as the action is about to hit, these multicolored rainbowed serpents and leviathans of the deep, some with small legs and some not, as the collision is about to occur. Tex-Mex, you use your peril port on Klex over here, which is going to move Klex out of the path of harm in which all these many serpents would have done as they roar across this natural primal highway. And you look back towards the big bunch heading on towards Yeek, who, in preparation, has been readying to maximize a defensive teleport with enough time in the invincibility to not be harmed. So readying and seeing the swarm heading your way, you time it right when you're going to be hit. You take up a defensive stance, hit that teleportation, moving yourself 6 squares onto an optimal zone right when there's an opening, to which you can remain safe from harm.
That's how you do that.
The stampede charges and wrecks the land. You see stones in the earth be reaped to the side, cast off into a new beginning of a sea. The land ravaged to the north is shredded into such a way that it fell into the mouth of the bay. They
If I had
slither off.
confidence, I would try to eat one of them, but I'm thinking I better stand back. Well, Klex has confidence. I don't. I think it would probably go for one on the edge. Or am I too far away?
I'm sorry, what were you trying to do?
I think Klex would try to eat one on the edge, unless I'm way too far away to get there.
I think you would be too far away because Tex-Mex went to, like, the clear spot.
Okay.
Your character's big, but still not to the point where... So I can imagine you try to go for, like, a good old reach the best you can as they kind of, like, skim by, but it's like you almost get a little one, but...
Yeah.
They slither their slimy, eely selves into the water. However, in the wake of destruction, you see a path, cleanly made by those creatures, and it seems that they bore through the mountains in the north, now leaving a strange path.
Is that path too wet for you, Tex?
Nah, I don't like using this thing. It makes me feel like an old man. But he's gonna pop open his hover platform. They're like, I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. I've been at this long enough to know when the Almighty gives you a doorway, you take that doorway. And I think this is the way we should go.
I can give you a blobby back ride.
Yeah.
You can jump on my back.
I can't jump, so no.
I can put you on my back.
No.
Well, fuck you
that's-
too.
That would seem a little weird. I'm not into that kind of thing. I might look like it, but I'm not. Everybody assumes I'm into that kind of thing, but I don't
What?
ride on other men. What?
You don't like lizards?
Oh, that was not a rhetorical question. You want me to actually answer that, or what?
No, it's fine.
So, are you all heading down the newly made beaten path?
I am.
Yep.
I'm hungry.
Down the beaten path, the direction that those creatures fled, through the mountains in the north. As you come through here, you can notice hills, mountains, cragged faces of stone carved into the landscape. It's a great overlook of that small bay that the serpents have claimed as their new home. You can see a few moving around, but most of them seem to have taken residence in the depths. Seems to be a clean march, nice and vacant, the open wilderness.
You guys want to go down there and see if we can collect something to eat? There might be smaller ones down there.
Yes, definitely.
You know, what we should do for you, we should make an aquarium or something like that. You can carry that around just so you have like a reserve of food or something.
Are you saying you want to carry around water? Are you feeling okay?
No, I'm like a terrarium or something like that. You know, maybe just like a
Okay.
throw some carcasses on my sled.
It would cover up your smell.
I thought it was Click.
You are now nearing the mountains that have been cleaved into two. Within the shadow of the shattered mountains, you find a little bit of an escape from the heat. The humidity is high, not enough to hurt Tex, just enough to remind him of home. But in this quick shade of comfort, there is suddenly a loud and abrupt sharp noise of steel against steel and claws against stone. Atop and within this destroyed mountain range, you can see various faces and figures from Chip Sipper's tavern earlier. Many bounty hunters, rogues, bottom of the barrel, hot dog scoundrels, grappling hooks for arms, clawed fingers, wielding chainsaws with laser eyes, many of them with advancements that their minds haven't caught up to use properly. Look what we got here, boys! We got a couple of hodags! What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do to us? What are they gonna do to Jolly Joe and his salty crew? Nothing. They ain't a slap off the side of a stone. They ain't a knee off the side of a hubcap raccoon. They don't have enough salt to season my rice. Ah! Taking a seat on the side of a stone, a grappling hooked arm, purple, strange-looking fellow, almost appears as though to be like one of those fruits but personified. Seems to be that same shade. Oh, you guys!
Arm.
My arm.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. All of you, and definitely that big jelly thing of goo over there. You all have bounties on your heads. Yes, sirree, yes, sirree. And we're gonna cash it in. We could divide it by 1, by 2, by 8, by 4,000, and we make way more of a profit than what we're doing on the street now, darling. Now I will bet my purple britches that I can't make you see the Reaper.
Hey, I don't have a head. There can't be a price on something I don't have.
Guy talks too much.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Tex.
Oh, we'll cut something off. Oh, I'm doing a little bit of talking, because I want to give you folks a show, a cinema, a masterpiece class chunk of theater before you die and everything fades to black. That's what I believe anyway.
Hey, when they
All right, boys.
their breath
Give them the licks.
and it's extra seasoning.
Jumping down from the top of the mountains, you can see a chainsaw wielder, a samurai sword wielder wearing knight's armor, and you can see what looks to be a hula girl with a jetpack, and they all dive down on the three of you. This will provoke an attack of opportunity on all three of these targets.
I only have one prayer left. My last theatrical moment. So. Oh, great and wonderful blobfish, with your holy face resembling botched plastic surgery left in a hot oven. Please assist us with your divine pout. Cover our enemies in the holy snot of the heavens and smother them until they are no longer on this plane. I ask that you grant me the utmost toxicity of the blood coursing through me and guide me into battle. In Poutfish we trust. That's my action.
Pudding.
Alright, that chant rings aloud. And the other two of you, you may make an attack of opportunity as these figures dive onward.
I can use my Everbleed sword on this, right? Because it's melee.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to take out my Everbleed sword, and I'm going after the hula bitch.
Alright, give me a roll.
82.
That is gonna work. You see her come down and try to be evasive, doing those hips moves, and you get a slice right in the midsection. Roll for damage.
90 points of damage.
That hula girl is sliced in half as the bottom half of her body continues the little hula dance, and her jetpack just spins in a circle and crashes, nosedives into the ground, giving up
Bring
a little.
me more!
Tex-Mex.
You guys talk a good talk. And I don't think you can fight a good fight, and I'm just going to use my gun on you. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste anything. I've been around guys like you before.
You actually have a free attack of opportunity from before. There's 3 enemies that tried to jump down on you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just going to pull his sidearm. He's not going to pull the staff. He's just going to... with a 64 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 93 damage.
Alright, yeah, that's gonna down. The samurai sword, knight's armor, and just... And the third enemy with the chainsaw raging overhead, this large mutant, gonna raise it to the air and is gonna go diving down into a thing of goo. On his way into the goo, let's see here. He is going to deal 85 fire damage.
Grapple check. Is it? It's a 54.
You overpower the chainsaw-wielding mutant.
I eat him.
Is she gonna have indigestion anytime soon?
I don't have a stomach to fill.
What's the damage on it?
Oh, sorry. I was so excited it worked. A whole 16.
Alright, it's gonna be a slow process. You can hear him just kind of screaming and trying writhing around inside of the goo. The ends of his chainsaw are going to become dull as his sharpened teeth and the fine chrome finish he recently had done on his bionics. So he's watching all of the slow vein pieces of valor fade away piece by piece.
I like it when they struggle.
Alright. So next, overhead, some shots are going to ring out, as you can just hear like a barrage of fire as they're going to begin shooting. Nothing seems to contact anyone just yet, but you know this needs to be dealt with quick because there is just a barrage of projectiles of various forms being lobbed at you from every corner, from every weapon, or from every orifice. It is now the party's turn.
Hey, can I do unarmed strike and continue to try to eat him, or is just eating him an action?
Let me think here. So you want to try to... What are you trying to do to him exactly?
Well, I guess I'm trying to take him in. You succeed on each of their turns while in... Oh, he's already in my body, right?
He was in your body, but he beat the grapple check, so he's at your body.
Oh, then I'm gonna try and grab him again. So
Alright, go for it.
try to grapple again, correct? Sorry, seems like a long time since I've looked at this. 76 to grapple.
Oh yeah, he is the best he can, trying to swing away with the chainsaw, but your goo kind of curves past it and you envelop his body.
The acid damage is 98.
And that is enough to completely disintegrate him. First the organics go, and then the metallics fade away. He's medium size, so 4 meals.
And then I think that's all I'm gonna do. Just gonna stand here like the badass I am.
Well, I ain't no badass, so I'm going to stand behind you. You want to take those shots, you go ahead. I'm going to get some cover. So I think that's what Tex is going to do. He's going to look for cover probably behind Click or Yek, Click, Click. And then it's getting confused. Or some nearby tree or something like that. Or a rock or something.
Probably nothing.
Alright, give me a stealth check.
90.
Yeah, you find a nice chunk of stone that was made over the course of the serpents moving, and there's this nice little bit that you can tuck underneath. Good and dry, none of that liquid, no goo from the serpents. Perfect hiding spot.
Since I didn't move, can I try to roll a perception to try to find somewhere to hide that's around me?
You can try.
I see Tex-Mex taking cover, and I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. 59.
The best you can think of is to hide amongst the broken bits of the mountain, finding a wedge that you can hide yourself. That seems to be the best you can think.
Okay.
Due to your size and the size of the mountains and the different crevices, there could be something potentially there.
Get him, Yak.
So how far away are they from me?
Well, there seem to be a whole bunch. There seems to be a few of them, 13 squares or more. And there seems to be others that dive down, they were taken out. There's a few more overhead that can also try to jump down. There's some within the 12 square range. And there could be a few hidden, for all you know. Because there seems to be stuff coming from every direction. A lot of them just don't seem to be perfectly in range yet. They're just trying to set up a barrage and a trap.
Alright, I think I'm going to take my turn to charge my Hell Flame.
Alright. So you can feel this energy charging into you. The energy required to vanquish your foes.
I think I made him laugh too hard.
Alright. You get everyone good? So what's going to happen now Now there's going to be some shots raining in. Few shots are going to try to come down. Let's see what we got here. Flex. Does an 8 hit you?
An 8? I have
Does an 8 hit
15.
you? Okay, so that doesn't.
No, thank God.
And then 6 hits Yak. I got really low rolls. I literally got an 8, a 9, and a 6. So, there are just shots raining out. Yek is going to be the only one to be hit by this barrage. So with the first set, you are going to receive 80 fire damage. And then you will receive 90 beam damage. Everyone else seems to manage to avoid one way or another, for better for worse. Specifically Tex-Mex, with his known quick feet when it comes to firing. And then a few more are going to try to rain down on you. 3 more this time. So let's see here. Let's see what they got. It's a 48, 72, and a 77. So, Tex, the one that's overhead for you, this guy looks to be some kind of, like, bio-Viking. Some kind of cyber-organic entity with a giant axe built into his spine. He jumps downwards, misses his attack, but it still provokes an attack of opportunity for you to get a free melee hit on him.
Trying to think of what I have, if I can do anything melee. Would it be possible to use the my sidearm on him?
Well, it would be a free melee attack. So it just
Okay.
kind of like someone's flying down, and then as a reaction, just kind of like whack them. So it would be your
All right.
melee hit.
Let's just try that. I mean, it's not going to do any damage to him, pretty much, I bet. 33 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's very weak, right?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Three damage.
Massive bio-Viking slams his axe into the planet, and you give a little hit. The best you could. And he just picks up his head, and you can see the fire in his eyes. Alright. Flex, are you able to attack with an attack of opportunity, or are you not fully charged yet?
I have the default unarmed strike. Can I use that?
Yep.
Okay. Average is just one roll, yep. 26. Oh,
That
I
will
guess-
hit.
Cool. Now I roll my damage. 25.
What damage type?
Bludgeoning.
Alright. So, basically, this, like, flying roach tries to come down, and you just splat him in the head.
And I touched him, so...
Yep. This roach is tiny, so that's 2 meals? No, 1 meal. I think.
Well, that's a 38 to grapple.
You punch that bug. So in enveloping it, you notice that it's covered with these, like, prickers and thorns and little nasty appendages. So in swallowing and digesting it, you are going to receive 91 fire damage.
Okay, and then he's also...
You feel
gonna
a
get
terrible burning sensation throughout your mass.
acid damage, too. That is 87.
Hey, look at that. She does get indigestion.
Little holes open in my amoeba body and shoot out a little bit of smoke here and there.
A nasty affliction attempted to overtake your body, but you had too much mass, too much health, for it to have any effect as you eject the steam. Alright. Now we gotta do the one jumping down on Yeek. So, heading your way seems to be an old school robot, something almost like a wind-up toy. He springs downward with his legs. He's coming down with his flying axe kick through the air. So let's see.
We lose Shannon.
Yeah, she'll be back. Maybe.
That's
You've
okay.
Fighting
She'll
her,
be back.
fighting her computer all day.
You receive 59... Oh, I'm sorry. That's... 118 slashing damage. As he comes down with this massive flying axe kick that, however, it was flashy. He is now wide open as you lay in that attack of opportunity.
I'm gonna slice him in two. 49?
That'll hit.
35 points of damage.
What damage type?
It's with my Everbleed sword.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's gonna be slashing with the Everbleed sword. Alright, so he jumps downward. You get that sword strike in him. It's all wedged between like the old school gears and wires and bolts. It's stuck in there. He's like barely hanging on like a tiny bit, and you see him like super wedged in there, and he's kind of grabbing the weapon, trying to bring you closer. You may now perform a grapple check, as there is now this back and forth struggle as he's like intertwined with you.
79.
Alright. You break out of that, and you may now, oh, actually, yeah, that's gonna be enough. He's gonna be all, like, wonky, and you have an opening to lay down another strike, ending your turn.
So another strike as in a melee?
Yes. You see, like, an opening for not, like, a full high power, but at least some kind of, like, ugh.
89.
Alright, that's gonna make contact.
$60 points of damage.
Alright. And with that final strike, this strange, old-school, transforming, reforming organism is taken out, as all the magnetic bits crumble to the floor. The barrage is continued. You can see they're now trying to ready cannons and bringing forth as much artillery and force that they can. And you know hell is definitely going to rain to the best of their ability. But it is now the player's turn. They are now much closer within range. They're now all around you.
Alright. I'm going to use my health flame. It says it just says 12. It just says 12 squares.
Because I believe it's like a 12 square like radius or cone. Like I think it's like a larger area. Like I don't think it's a single target.
It's
Okay,
the
so-
whole field. No?
Yeah, I'm just trying to double check with that because that could very well determine what happens right now. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking with it. For some reason, I thought it took up more area. but it is single target. I just wanted to check with that.
Okay.
All right. So you see the biggest, baddest guy there, and you just shoot a shot directly into him. The power of that hell flame. Give me some damage. So lethal, you roll twice, and it's minimum 100.
Okay. 189.
So with 189 fire damage and the power of your hell flame, you hit the biggest, baddest, toughest guy there, heading for that guy who was loudmouthing before, and you completely blow him off the map and just splatter him.
Who's next?
Is there anyone... If I move, is there anyone within my reach?
Absolutely, multiple.
Alright, I'll go for whoever's closest, so I guess I'll come out of my hiding spot, approach them.
Oh, you can go to a spot and touch 6 of them. So creeping on out,
Yeah.
there looks to be a group of 6 that doesn't see you. Roll the hit, I'll give you a bonus on it.
I can get them all, or just one?
Well, you can get all 6 because these are all crowded together and you have the large body if you're trying to do that envelopment stuff.
Hell yeah, I am. 82.
Alright, so you absolutely just go to engulf these guys. Give me a grapple check.
Just one?
Yeah. Simplify things.
49.
Alright, considering you're grabbing all these targets from behind, like coming out of a stealth position doing a big envelopment, yeah, you outbeat the grab and you envelop 6 targets. Roll for that damage.
Beautiful being damaged. 84 acid damage.
Every single subject that you have enveloped is disintegrated.
That's a lot of meals.
Yeah, one of them was large sized, the rest were medium.
Okay.
Oh, and what's that? One
Cut out a bit. Are you still there?
Tyson, are you there? Oh, love Craig.
It's not Craig, it's just Discord on that point.
Okay, I love them both.
Are you there? Still
Oh,
not
Greg.
here. There you go. Okay, so the last thing I got was one was large and the rest were medium.
One was large, one was small. The other 4 were medium.
Okay, well, that still takes
And
well above. I'm at full health now, so.
you engulfed all of them. One of them seems to try to let off like a self-destruct mechanism in his body. And you are going to take 150 slashing damage.
Is that after I have already healed from eating them, or would that be before I heal?
You heal and then you take the damage.
Okay.
So it's like you eat, you ingest the materials, and then the detonation goes off.
Alright, and I'm sorry, 150?
Yes.
Got it. Alright, good. I let out
The
a
big
little
guy
bark.
seemed to have like a bomb in his chest or something.
You prepared for me eating everyone, damn it.
Well, the thing is, I like to use a lot of tropes, and sometimes the tropes end up being like, oh, uh-oh. I'm like, oh, putting bombs in things' chest, oh, that's cool. Some weird big, like, cyborg cowboy guy with a bomb in his chest.
So
Alright.
what I envision is the bomb blows up, so parts of my body kind of like bubble out and come back in, and I'm jiggling. And once again, you know, smoke comes out of a hole in my body.
There's gotta be a smell.
Yeah. It can't be any worse than Tex.
That ain't right.
Smells like Click's ship.
That's why Click and I are such good friends.
Tex-Mex, you're up.
That Bio Viking, I do not like him being so close. So, big freaky skull. Yep. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. And he is going to update it. And he's going to use 4 charges on this. 27 to hit.
Okay. That will hit. You're just aiming generally, like in the crowd.
Yeah, but I think more likely that big Bio Viking that's landed in front of me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yep. That'll hit. He has 20 evasion. So you see him try to shoulder check your attack and just gets hit with it head on.
69 damage.
All right. So that in addition to what he took before, you see he's virtually on his last leg now, still standing, seemingly one of the tougher ones out of the group.
How many hit points does he have left?
You have Kill Mage, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So he drops a bit with his health, and you notice he's within range. He's low. That guy used one of those diehards, and now it's off. It's not activated anymore.
Oh.
And you have Kill Mage, so you instantly know this, and when you want, you may describe and activate it.
So, I'm going to shoot poison out of my mouth at him, and his body is going to just disintegrate. And I look at Tex-Mex. I look at Tex-Mex and go, "Bet you didn't know I could do that."
Looks like you're good for something now anyway.
That's 4, Tex. How many you killed?
2? Today? Today.
Speaking of, a large group starts heading over to Tex-Mex, ready to try to hack him apart with their saws and whatnot, tired of shooting at him long range and avoiding all their things, with all their minuses on their guns they're not proficient with and whatnot. But they stomp on over to Tex-Mex, and they notice that he's kind of freaky looking. He's a little, I got a trash roll.
He's a freaky deaky Dutch.
A group tries to jump Tex-Mex knowing his reputation, but they get absolutely freaked out by the way he looks due to one of your abilities and my shitty rolls. This group is just going to run terrified of you in the other direction. So right after, how many have you killed? We gotta get out of here! It's the real Tex-Mex! I thought he was dead! We gotta get out of here! Whole bunch of the melee berserkers run away.
Touche.
There's going to be a group that is going to try to do a similar tactic to Klex. Multiple of these jumpers from overhead, small ones coming out of the ground. They do the best they can to run over and try to grab on old Klex. And well, one of them rolled the 1. So one of them is going to trip, knocking a large quantity of the group directly into Klex for digestion. The remainder do their best. So Klex, basically, you're gonna take 73 acid damage, but then like 8 people are flying into your body.
Do I need to roll to grapple anybody?
Yes, yeah. Still give me the grapple. The 1 made it where a bunch are getting into you versus less.
That is a whole 4.
Well, you don't grapple them good. A whole bunch of them trip over and get completely injured and messed up. Don't you have poisonous touch?
If they go into my body, I have strong acid damage.
Oh, I was trying to see if you had like damage on the outside of your body too. I was just checking.
No, if I get slashing or
Oh yeah, give me
piercing.
one bit of the going inside of you because they kind of fell in, and then they'll get ejected.
All right, the acid damage is, oh my god, 22.
All right. So, between them hurting themselves and that, some of them are going to be dead. The rest are going to be alive, but charred and horrified. And I will say, because there was a 4 involved on your end, you kind of fumbled them around, ejecting them from your body. So some of them let off a few shots. A rocket maybe blows up in you. Nothing feels good. You receive, let's see, 71 electric damage. And then a bunch of them are ejected from your body, and some of them look like they want to hightail it out of here. The group is thinned out, and it looks like they're learning not to mess. So the last group, with the last bit of cojones, some of these banditos begin to try to crawl around Yeek. Some of them riding large beasts. The rest of them marksmen off in the distance. So a few shots are gonna rain into Yeek. And you are going to receive 183 cold damage as you are blasted with multiple of these freeze rays and icicles, as it seems they're trying to combat your reptilian nature.
It's cold.
A group then running in close, it looks like a bunch are then trying to run in and give some swings and swangs and whatnot. Alright. So, this one's, let's see, it's a whole bunch of hits. I'm gonna add it up because I got some pretty crap rolls here. But that's only 36 in total. So less for you. So they do the best they can, but you are blocking hits, making them hit these larger parts of your body, doing everything you can in your positioning to their attacks, nearly negating what they can do. They may be able to hit you, you might not be the most evasive, but you've been able to at least negate some damage on yourself. And in fear, they notice that they can't harm you. It is now the player turn, but I will say, the enemies look horrified. They look almost all set with the fight. They look like they've learned a lesson.
Do we let them go or do we kill them?
Well, I let Click go, but he turned out to be an alright guy. And I'm hungry. So I'm going to advance on one and try to do an unarmed strike into a grapple.
Are we fighting with Gudicrus?
Oh, the gooey one's coming right towards me! This bandito with this big old cloth and a large hat, kind of scrunched up with a bunch of daggers, is trying to run for his life away from the goo.
I got 73 to hit with the unarmed strike.
Yep, that'll work. I'll say. Oh yeah, and there's one next to him too, because you're so big, so you're just gonna engulf like 2 units.
Okay, so 59 bludgeoning damage on that.
All right.
And then my grapple, 91.
Nice.
Acid
Yep, that's
damage.
gonna beat my 40 too.
Acid damage is 99.
All right. So you engulf what looks to be the next most powerful one in the group that was leading some of the more ballsy ones, that was trying to take some attacks at Yeek and not doing much, and you just gobble them up. The rest of the group looks horrified. Another one gets slinked up into the vacuum and gets sucked in like a small fish getting sucked into like a filter. And what you're left with is an even more terrified group. Let me see how terrified some of them are.
How many meals?
Oh boy.
Or did they not die yet?
That was 2. They were both medium.
Okay.
So that's a good amount of meals. Tex-Mex, what would you like to do?
He's gonna just fire his pistol over their heads and be like, "You run now, you scampering bastards!" He just doesn't he doesn't want to kill anybody anymore. In this, I think they've done enough.
Mm-hmm. So that in addition to the fact of I did my roll for you looking scary, they got a 3 to try to deal with that. They are horrified of you. They thought you were dead. They have no idea how you were back. Your reputation precedes you. And some of them are now kind of smartened up to, okay, this guy's the boogeyman. We need to get out. So now you see ones that were hidden, stealth. They begin leaving in droves, what's left of them. They realize that this is not a winning fight. Not droves. Maybe droves when they showed up before, but now you have the crumbs of an army that's left, trying to run off. But that being said, Yeek, it is your turn to do what you will.
I'm going to try to cut one of them in 2 with my Everbleed. 72 to hit.
All right. As multiple of these guys are like walking by, you give a big old swing and you slash into a good one. Seemed to be one that was running, but then it looked like he tried to turn around to take some pot shots on you, and you weren't going to let that slide, and you get him. Roll for damage.
87 points of damage.
All right. He is taken down completely, and you can tell when you let that Everbleed last, he's going to fade. Like, you see him just practically drop from that move. So
he's dead, right?
Begins to dissipate. Yep, he is dead once with the Everbleed kicking in. So you see him up for a bit, and then when the bleed kicks in, just goes down.
Okay, I have a weakness of cruel. So I start hacking the body up.
Yup. So you hack away, and you just see that makes the group leave faster. They're just heading out of there.
Ever seen Men in Tights when the blind guy is like fighting the wood post, and he's just that's what he kind of looks like, hacking this guy up into pieces.
Oh, just like beating the crud out of him. And once he is reduced nearly to dust, when it looks like there's no more fun to have because a mess has been made in the mountain, and the footsteps clear away, you see the path backwards. You see the path that those took that were before you, all of them in the mountains, creeping around. You can see their footsteps and where they go. The only kind of clear path on the other side of the north.
Before we go anywhere, if there's any more matter on the ground, I want to eat it.
Alright, matter on the ground. So, people, yes, units that have died. So here's my question. How much health would you need to be max?
204.
204. A meal gives you how much?
15.
15. Yeah, with the amount of bodies that have been taken out, you should be able to have enough to get close to full. And we're about approaching up on an inner wave rest where you would heal a 10th of your max HP. So I think you're up to max between those two.
Ooh, thank you.
The corpses on the ground, the organics left behind, anything you can consume in the area. All right, and yeah, and that being said, we will hit a interwave rest soon, so we will be, yeah, you can bring up your health by 1/10 of your max. Your per wave functions will return, and I'm gonna do one other bit here, and then I'll be down for a break
Okay.
before we hit the end. All right. Silence echoes over the mountain ridge as it hangs high with its might.
Yay, Discord!
Yeah, you fell out.
I'm back. So, past the mountains, there seem to be less and less defined features going deeper into the void. Are there any moves, observations, or attempts at anything anyone would like to do?
Can I roll perception to see if I see any more hordes or bounty hunters laying in wait for us?
Yes. Any kind of traps, things that look like people over the horizon? Yes.
Yeah. 65.
Using your size and the height of your observation to survey the area, it seems as though that the hunters have scattered, seemingly back to Chip's place. But everywhere else, you see no sign of the brag, those strange starfish organisms. You see no sign of hunters or serpents or other flavors of the West that you have run into thus far. You see no kind of anything, even more of a cast out void. And you
Hey,
feel
Jack.
as though you must head into it.
Is it weird that there's nothing out here, Tex?
Well, yeah, but no. So, just keep your head on a swivel, and we should be fine.
I don't have
My
any-
head
Like I
does
said.
not swivel.
Mine only goes 20 degrees. So, keep one
Not-
eye in your back of your head open. How's that?
I can do that, and I split my eyes to go one in front.
There you go.
and one behind.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
But you
What?
lost 2 arms last time.
I just like to say shit. I don't think about what I'm actually saying.
Oh, a lot of people do that.
Moving on past the mountains, deeper and deeper into the void of the West. Things become even more featureless and featureless. Colors begin to fade. The outlines of the world seem to disappear. The borders on color, what is and what isn't. Things begin to get a little weird the deeper you're going. Things become unfamiliar even to Tex-Mex at this point, as the rapid descension into lower and lower details begin to take hold. Do you continue your march?
Yep.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
I'll keep my eyes out for anything, so... Yep. Continue forward unless I percept a reason not to.
Continuing forward. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Tex is going to take a formation behind Yek. Or a Klek. And, yeah. He doesn't want to be in front. He's going to let the tank stand in front of him.
All right. Like leading the path. Yek at the ready. Going into truly what seems to be more and more of a void. At this point, colors seem to completely disappear. The divisions in the ground in Conquaggle are no more. Scent is gone. The ground is no longer uneven and bumpy, but perfectly straight. You notice that attempting to go behind you will only result to eventually going right back to where you were. Space and time seem to no longer exist, as you were in a white, plain background. Truly in the void. How do you proceed?
X, is there any hint as to where we go?
You know, I've been in a lot of places, and this place is the weirdest place I've ever been. I don't think there's anywhere else for us to go but straight.
This one agrees.
Once again, beating a dead horse. Can I roll some perception?
Yes, you can.
I'm just kind of looking for any sort of hint as to what way we should go. You know, if I see anything like that.
I will keep in mind that, give me a roll, and I'll say, like, over time, you're just over and over being like, okay, there are enemies on the horizon. What's gonna happen? Gotta be ready.
Right. Cool. I got a 61.
All right. As you are looking around, you truly seem to be in a void. As all detail, the small bumps, organisms, animals, villains, nothing. Truly empty. However, you are completely at the ready, a hairline trigger. If anything were to show up, you would know it. You have the eagle's eye on the situation, looking over it like a lighthouse. And the group continues to march forward. And it continues in this way for some time. Is there anything else that the group would wish to do in the void? As now wit's end is at hand.
Yeah, Tex is gonna pop out his big freaky skull, and he's gonna fire a shot just to see if he can see if it emanates some light or anything like that. See if it'll hit something.
All right. So are you trying to shoot it up, down, left, right?
Straightforward.
Okay, straight forward.
Like,
All right.
See if it'll hit something in front of him or not.
All right. Give me a roll.
97.
All right. With that being a crit, you take a moment. You're aiming perfectly dead center. You kind of feel that moment of tunnel vision. You feel that focus. You feel that connection. And you shoot off the skull, and you see it go down and ripple and echo and ripple and echo and ripple and echo, until eventually the skull kind of dissipates. But you notice that there seems more way to walk forward than there was before. Somehow that whole connection, that tunnel vision, that focus, something about that state of mind helped get there.
Guys, I think we're going in the right way.
And when you do that, we have Klex, who has been at the ready for any instance of any happening. Hairline trigger to be ready to react to whatever happens. And I will say, Klex, you pick up on something weird happened when that skull was fired. There's definitely something going on. You can give me a roll as a knowledge check.
70.
All right. So, knowing from your faith and whatnot, you got a feeling that this is indeed some kind of void, but it's like a conceptual void. So there's conceptual stuff going on here. Like, you gotta be in a certain mindset to move out of this place through the door to the next place. Being too vigilant, being too observant, nitpicking the experience won't work. But going with the flow should cast you out the other side, clean as a whistle. Fresh and slimy and new.
I will let everyone know that. In the text, do you know what this means? What, my voice keeps changing. What mind frame do we have to be in?
I think you just need to ride the wave, so to speak. Not that I'd ever ride a wave, but you know what I'm saying. Just kind of as the spirit in the sky would say, go with the flow.
Yeek Lisk, is there anything you would like to do to escape from the void? You saw that Tech shot a freaky skull? That seemed to do something, because there was a crit involved, some high focus, some interconnection. And Kleck seemed to pick up on that. Try to figure that out and share that information that we're in a weird zone. If we find the right kind of energy to connect with, we get out. So what is the most Yeek-Lisk way to try to get out of this situation?
He's not the brightest bulb, so it'd probably be just trying to find any kind of outlet, like he could jump through like a opening or something.
In the void you are in, the ground is solid, made of who knows what. Everything else seems to be vacant space. So where do you wish to exert your energy on?
You said the ground is solid?
Yep.
I'm going to try to beat my way through the ground.
Alright. So, are you attacking it with your weapon, or are you just trying to use your strength and, bore through it?
I'm going to try to use my weapon.
Alright. Give me a roll to hit. You're pretty much definitely going to hit. It's just to see if it's like a crit or something.
34.
Alright, you slam your weapon into the ground. Roll damage.
$32.
Slamming your weapon into the solid ground, everyone else feeling some kind of connection with the realm, you feel the rush of adrenaline. Your blade hits the ground, and your blade seems to draw a little bit of blood when you stab it into the floor.
Ever bleed.
Raising from the ground immensely, like the mountains you crossed between before, is the shell of a giant snapping turtle. Now in the void, all of you on its back. It turns back its head with a devilish face of a consumer, and then quickly a giddy smile of an old friend. This large turtle begins to walk, with you on its back, and seems to be burrowing through the ground itself to take you out of the void. After some burrowing, you see the sun again, and you can gaze upon the clouds. The sky changing and shifting many colors like a beautiful kaleidoscope. You can make out a cloud in the shape of the honky-tonk knight, the spirit of the West himself, with his flannel shirt and knight's greaves, a drink in his hand and a cigarette in his mouth, leaning on the side of an unknown truck. The cloud drifts by, gives a bit of a wink, before the shape turns into any old shapes you'd see in any old clouds. This place looks much more lush. You see cacti and exotic plants, animals of different sizes and shapes, slinking around the undergrowth. You have found a lively oasis. You can kick back, have a snack, and have a rest, as fresh water sprinkles from the ground. So, I will say at this point, before we go to break, the rejuvenating nature of this place, from what you consume, from what you have, from what you take, all of your weapons, your ammunition, your gear, your health, everything will go up to full, as you did at the beginning of the journey. You feel fully rejuvenated. You have found contraptions that seem to, this serves as ammunition, and this is as close to a hamburger as you can find in nature. A beautiful oasis that you were able to enjoy. And almost as quickly as it came, you see it recede into the ground, raw, almost like 1,000 years viewed over the course of a few minutes. The rainforest shrinks away and is gone, left into the void of a desert. Pestilence. All right. So that being said, how long of a break would you guys want to take before we jump on back for the end?
I'm good.
Yeah, good too.
I'm good.
Y'all want to go straight through?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. The oasis has perished, gone to dust. Marching forward, you find yourself in a graveyard, a house of bones, a pit. Within a canyon, the walls raised, like a natural arena, littered with bones, fossils, all the like. None freshly dead like you've previously seen, but those long gone. And it seems to be a dead end. Classic design, your sandpit arena, those high walls and grimacing maws carved into the cliff face. The path seems to be leaning directly into there.
Is Yek leading the way, or is Klex? Are you leading the way, Kirk?
I'll lead the way.
Okay, I'll go second.
With Yek leading the way, he makes his way into this natural arena. The sands hiss and sting the skin, but you march forward undeterred. The ground seems to shift and move, but your footing and your will not falter. Into the arena you go. It is instinct. You bring yourselves into a situation, almost owning up to something you felt like has been done. The opening to the arena is replaced with a massive wall rising from its depths like a large tooth. This arena itself, this catacomb, graveyard of sorts, of the long dead, is now beginning to slowly move and churn. At the high top of one of the walls, you see a horrifying specter flap down. This strange avian monster seems to have the appearance of a decayed, draconic buzzard. This horrible creature Tex-Mex has heard in his childhood the tales of Buzzard. Almost a real Grim Reaper for those that have perished. One said to pose a challenge, and then have you be successful, have you survive, then you are no longer pursued by these reapers, these soul takers, these spiritual bounty hunters, and you are freed from any ties, and you may go on your business. Buzzard lands, ribcage completely exposed, reeking of rotten meat, skin, flesh, and bone black as night. With a pterodactyl-type head crest, he raises his rings, and he gets out a mighty shriek. The ground trembles. Within cracks in the rocks, seeps in the springs, you witness the dead begin to raise from the ground. Beasts lost in history, fossils of the forgotten, and even cyborg mutant zombie cowboys begin rising from the ground, with comedic portions, cybernetics, laser eyes, and grins that could swallow the sun. An entire army of the dead surrounds you. So with you surrounded by more enemies than you can count, and an arena almost larger than any other, with a reaper of the dead willing to take your souls as far as he needs to, what does the party do?
Well, you
What?
said a challenge, right? So we pretty much need to know the terms of this challenge. So Tex is going to walk up to Buzzard, which is probably like the dumbest thing he's ever going to do. But
Okay. So you try going right over to Buzzard. Buzzard looks at you, locks eyes, can tell your instinct is pure. He allows you to walk through the army of the dead. Their jaws hanging low, their maws open. They growl, they snarl, they hiss, they lash out inches away from your face, but nothing to harm. You make your way over to the wall where Buzzard is. He lands down next to you. Only now do you realize this thing is at least 8 feet tall when standing completely erect. He looms over you, ribcage open, almost with you inside of it. And what do you say to him?
hey, Buzzard. Now, I know every game has its own rules, and I want to know the rules of this contest that you're putting up against us right now. I don't want any tricks on your part. I want to know exactly how this is going to go. Do we just need to kill all these guys, defeat them, put them to bed? Do we need to feed them dinner? Do we need to do something else? What do we got to do to get out of here?
When Buzzard hears, "Oh, do we need to kill them all?" you see he nods his head yes, and at the other ones nods no, as he begins pacing around. You get a feeling that he himself isn't going to be doing the attacking. You notice that he takes up a post very high, as if not to do anything and to watch. So he nods his head and he seems to assure you that handle the undead and your debt is paid. You see he points at you, and you see a strange X-shaped mark show up around on your chest, somewhere on your body where the last strike went into yourself before you were killed. Wherever your fatal blow was, you notice there seems to be a mark over it. And he points to that mark. "You are a recusant. You bear the mark. Pass the test. No more mark. He flaps his wings to the top of his crow's nest to watch over the battle. He rallies the dead, allowing Tex to get back into a proper position, as those various undead seem to cooperate Buzzard's orders not to attack you. They once again lash out, hiss at you, and you almost feel one too many of a water droplet hit you on the face. But you manage to get over to the group. The buzzard again raises his wings as night falls, the moon hangs heavy overhead. A few of his feathers gust into the air. His body puffs away into dust and feathers and grime that bursts in the air as the undead begin to writhe and wriggle. What does the party do as the army of the dead is upon you?
Kinda sounds like this is your problem, Tex.
I think it's all of our problems. The thing is that we kill these things, we put them back in the ground. We're done. We're out of here.
And I will say, all of you have the mark. Wherever that fatal blow was delivered on you, there seems to be an inscribed X-shaped mark on where the fatal blows were laid to you.
I will start praying to one of my deities for forgiveness and strength.
All right. Who else would like to go? Surrounded by undead, most of them being these zombie mutant cyborg cowboys. Straight out of a comic strip.
Well, I guess I'll go first. I mean, it's only right? Because I've led you here. Kind of up to me. So, he's going to lash out with. He's going to bring out the big freaky skull staff, and it's going to start to glow a little green, and he's going to fire off a decay beam into the crowd.
All right. So, any targets you want to specifically aim at?
So there was the Cowboys and the other one. What was the other one?
So there seem to be these zombie mutant cyborg cowboys, and aside from that, there seems to be fossils that have been animated. So like these larger beasts. Those seem to be the two major components.
All right, we're gonna go after the Cowboys, or at least
All right.
yeah, let's do that.
Give me a roll to hit and roll for damage, and this will be called shot center mass of the crowd.
39 to hit. Ugh, that's not
All
good.
right. Their evasion is trash. These are very slow-moving zombies for the most part. Not evasive zombies. They want to get hit. You see this blast goes directly into who you were aiming it at. Give me that roll for damage.
150.
150. So, with them having enough on their body left to decay, and with them being very flimsy, not the highest in health as individuals, you see your beam go through the first target, hit the one behind him and kill him, hits the one behind him, and it keeps going the full length of your attack. Which is quite a few squares if I recall. So straight through the crowd, almost completely through the arena, you see a line go and just destroys every single zombie mutant cyborg cowboy in the path.
And that's all he's got.
Alright, so Yeek, you are up.
Okay. I, too, am going to use my decay beam.
Mm-hmm.
58 to hit.
58. Alrighty. So same kind of deal. Hitting a bunch of the mass. Give me your roll for damage.
150.
So similar kind of deal. You directly hit the target you blasted at. It disintegrates them, but goes directly through the one behind him. On and on and on. These enemies are tightly packed and have a weakness where things bore through them even if you don't have it as a boring function. So things that go in a straight line like that go directly through. Also, in the path of your beam, it will run into some of these large catacomb beast of burdens, fossils integrated with parts of catacombs, tombstones like stegosaurus plates, to serve some of the heavy lifting that these reapers might need done. And you see those attacks go through pretty much everything aside from them. And it goes in a straight line where your line that was blasted and the blast from Tex is going to form the symbol that is on all of you over the map. And it is etched into the battlefield. Alright, I believe that's player turn. Now the zombies come in. They begin lurching forward. First, I'll deal with the ones around Klex, due to how that works.
Let's do it.
Some of them are going to raise sidearms and try to fire away. Klex, you will take 82 beam damage.
Okay.
As you receive some blaster shots from some of these guys that have side cannon lasers, weapon arms that aren't completely dysfunctional. The rest are going to run up old-fashioned, try to claw you, attack you with melee weapons, climb on you, use the various equipment they have, enlarged spurs to try to dig into your body. So a swarm is going to come up to you, and I rolled a 1 again. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with their 1. They're going to do their damage. They will fall into you.
Okay.
They'll auto get grabbed and take the damage, and I'll make them take more damage. So, you are going to receive... That's a total of... What is that? 98 poison damage, if you can take it. Unless you're immune. 98 poison damage as you are attacked with venomous spurs. In tooth and claw, as they try to climb into this gooze. However, because of a 1 that was rolled, they all have absolutely no idea, or at least the majority of them, do not how to overpower their grapple. So, that being said, could you roll me some of that acid damage?
It's 53.
Alright, these guys do not have a lot of health, and those that fall into you are disintegrated. A large mass gone. They do the best they can. Alright, now we...
Size?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
How many and what size?
Alright, these are the zombies, so they are medium-sized. And let's see the amount that went in there. That's 6.
Cool. Thank you.
Gobble up those zombies. Let's see. Tex-Mex. You hear a few shots sound. A few of these units try to get around you. They begin swinging their weapons, trying to claw and grab you just out of reach. One of them managed to grab you shoulder to shoulder, not the way you want them to grab you. Give me a grapple check to shake this zombie off you.
45.
Alright. That zombie grabs you shoulder to shoulder, just... Roar! He got a 4, so you shake him off so good, you see an opening to shoot him with your sidearm.
82.
That'll hit.
And average 9 damage.
All right. And what damage type?
That is beam.
These guys take a lot more from beam, with them
It's got
being
a-
this kind of unholy undead.
It has corrosive too.
Okay, so all of that together, that's probably going to be enough to take him down with the opening. And the beam's going to continue and probably scorch one behind him as they begin to move in. So as that one gets taken out, a few more come in. This one got a 5, so that one's going to get confused and is going to attack some of the other zombies. Just fires off some cannons, some missiles from his shoulders, and just blows up some of the zombies, cackling away. The remainder seem to miss Tex-Mex because of his evasion. However, 2 are going to hit you, an 81 and a 56. So one of them is going to try to come at you with these almost mini scythe hands. These kind of like modified fingers and hands, like multiple scythes. And he's going to try to dig into you. You are going to receive... What is that? 80... Oh, no, that's going... Yeah, that's 86 slashing damage. As you are attacked by multiple strikes and slashes that cause you to kind of keel over a bit. And the second maneuver, you are going to see this guy come waddling over to you. He looks like he's bloated. Like he's holding his stomach. Looks like he's trying to contain something. And he moves his way on over to you. And he is going to straight just projectile vomit on you. So this isn't water, but this is going to be a liquid.
Sounds
Please say
like
it's
my
acid.
20s.
Please say it's acid. Please say it's acid. Please say it's acid. Not come, not come, not come.
Alright, so
What podcast is
that's
this?
going to be it's going to be minimal.
Ninja Turtles?
But I'll up it. Alright, so, Tex. You're stricken with a stream of bile and vomit. And you are going to take 100 acid damage.
Ooh, and
Oh, thank God it's acid.
I am down. Unless I do perfect defense, but it's too late now, isn't it? Because you already rolled damage.
You can perfect defense upon, like, something's gonna hit, and then you can perfect defense.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. So you see the vomit coming, this big thing starts marching over, he's about to open up his gullet, and just right over you. And you do everything you can not to get hit, using the chunks of the vomit to protect you, using a stance to make the most splashback to prevent being hit with any liquid, anything you can not to get the moisture. And at the end of the stream, you just see a wide-mouthed, just wicked creature. Let's see here. Yeah, that's all the
nasty.
ones towards you.
That is nasty.
Nice, nasty.
Oh my god.
Then we have Yeek. Alright. So, with your 5 evasion, you won't be evading much, but with the extra durability you have, you could shrug off a lot of the damage. So you're going to see some of the lessers, kind of like ankle biters, not really doing as much, before some bigger ones try to get in there and land some serious damage, sinking into you, trying to grab. So could you give me a grapple check?
$66.
Alright. You feel like, alright, I'm going to overpower these guys. You notice like 1, 2, 3, 4, you got it. But so many rush in that they begin overpowering, and they do that swarm, trying to go for limbs, hitting as much as the center mass as possible, and a whole bunch are just going to come charging in. You are going to receive 150 piercing damage. As many of them are just trying to come in and do this big, horrible rip-apart technique. Next time you have an opportunity, you can try to crack out of this thing, because each time they continue it, it's looking to get worse and worse and worse. That being said, the rest of the zombies and the undead are going to get closer and closer, forming up a large offensive, concentrating their efforts. The 2 large beams cast through the group are now closed as the undead continue their march forward. It is now the party's turn, and I would like to start with Yeek Lisk due to him being grappled. You may now try to escape the grapple.
70?
70? That is going to be enough. You twist, you turn, you crank your way out of that continual, horrible, contortionist grab from the underworld, and you manage to land on your feet. What would you like to do with your turn? That'll only use a swift.
I'm going to attack with my Everbleed sword.
Alright.
41?
Give a big old...
47.
Alright, you give a big old horizontal slash. These guys don't have much durability, and due to one of their weaknesses, where you would cut through one and fell him, you cut through 4, one after the other, and slice them down with a single strike.
That's what I'm talking about. 88 points of damage.
Yep, that goes completely through them. Absolutely through every target, dead, down. Cutting through a zombie's one thing. Cleaving them enough to kill them, that's what you did. They're chopped and cropped. Alright. So now, let's go to Klex. What would you like to do? Surrounded by enemies.
We'll go towards whoever's closest or the biggest group.
Yep.
A group that's close by.
Oh yeah, there's a thing you can do.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do the unarmed strike into my grapple. Oh, that's 28 on the unarmed strike.
Alright, that's going to be enough to hit, with them not being too evasive.
Woohoo! So the bludgeoning damage is 76.
Nice. That'll be enough to completely destroy that zombie.
Can I try to still grapple the ones near it? Or is that no?
You can when you, move into them, or they move into you.
Okay. Do I have more movement? Wait a minute.
With your full movement, you can go into a spot, directly into, a 16-person group.
Okay, yeah, because I'm...
Virtually the most that you could touch, you can try to do the thing.
Okay, because I think at this point I'm trying to do 2 actions, right? So that's probably my turn.
Yeah, but you can set yourself up, in the spot, to get surrounded and then do the thing.
Cool, that's what I do.
Tex-Mex, what would you like to do as the army of the undead seems to lurch themselves closer and closer?
He's gonna fire off the big freaky skull again. And see, an 86 to hit.
All right, and where were you aiming it exactly?
Kind of just at the closest cowboy.
All right.
And so strong poison. $49 damage.
All right. So you blast away. It gets on in there. And you notice that guy seems to be unaffected.
Wow.
You see, he takes that blast of the freaky skull and just kind of shrugs it off. keeps marching forward. That being said, the enemies are just gonna continue to move in. Klex, whole bunch are gonna try to pile onto you, similar to what they did to Yeek. But they're gonna try it with you. They're zombies, they don't know any better. And a whole bunch, like, I think that's what, 18?
Moly.
Technically 19? Yeah, there's like 22 dudes trying to just climb onto you. Like an army of lesser health things trying to.
Reminds you of college, doesn't it?
It's like a Ghostbusters episode.
I didn't go to college.
Alright, high school.
Klex is just standing there like, bring it on.
Oh no.
Blobfish
let's see
above
here.
loves me.
In Klex, what is your evasion?
15.
Alright, just checking. Just want to see if anyone messes up. It doesn't look like it. It just looks like they're all gonna try to just climb up and do their thing. Alright, they're gonna climb on. Give me a grapple check.
Mo, baby.
I would say give me one.
11. How can I miss it when they're climbing on me? I'm overwhelmed.
Well, some of them did crappy because I got a 2, a 10, a 7, but then I got like a 55. I'm trying to do a bunch for them because for how many of them there is, at least doing half the number. So you're going to see a chunk of them are going to get absorbed, and the one that gets a 2 is going to mess up the other one's efforts. So there seem to be a few that are successfully on you, but wow, somehow a lot of these guys just got sucked in. So the ones on your surface are going to try to lay down some damage. And this is going to be... This is going to be beam damage.
Boo.
You see the claws begin to ignite as they try to cleave into you continuously.
I don't
And
think
you
I've ever
receive...
got Okay, go ahead.
You receive 123 beam damage.
Okay, I don't think I've ever got to use my poisonous blood. That's why I was like, I want different damage.
Oh, the poisonous blood. Yeah, because I was mentioning earlier, like, don't you have a thing that hurts people when you touch them? That was it, poisonous blood.
Slashing and piercing. Alright, so I'm going to do my acid damage to the dudes I took in.
Yep.
94.
All the ones that you have ingested are completely demolished, including one of those large, monolithic fossil-type creatures. Just
Yeah,
demolished, deteriorated. 2 of those big ones, bunch of those zombie mutant cyborg cowboys, all gone.
Probably gives me the 123 back. Or would it be that high?
Because let's see, with the amount that went in you and the amount that fell off, you consume 12 zombies,
Okay.
and each one's medium-sized. So that's a lot of health. Just heal up on it.
Okay. Oh yeah. That brought me back.
Alright, so Klex right now is forming a great barrier, funneling out a lot of those zombies that are, at a lot of the point, mindlessly running into Klex. But now there seems to be so many, they're trying to clog Klex.
Well, and Klex is not sweating. You hear it just kind of humming a little prayer song. Buried in zombies.
A wave of undead heads in the direction of Yeek. Many of them linked arms, forming a literal wave, a wall of corpses. Heads in your direction. Alright. That is a 98, so this is going to be a crit. A massive cascade of an undead wave is going to come rushing over your body. And you receive 300 bludgeoning damage. But with your new gained fortitude, you rise from that. Also give me a grapple check. As the wave comes down, it tries to hold you down with its links and its weight.
$62.
You are toppled over by a colossal wave, taking out a chunk of your health, one that would take out many a gladiator, and you burst through the wall of corpses, standing tall once more, alive. Tex-Mex. It is now your turn. The group of undead is being thinned out, and many of them seem to be getting consumed by Klex.
Yeah, so my big freaky skull only works on living things. I just realized that. It's not gonna help me here at all.
Used it on the undead, alright.
Yeah. So I probably wouldn't do that again. I'm going to move. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to pull my laser sidearm and I'm going to fire on one of the guys that's closest to me. Doesn't matter who.
All right.
Oh, Jesus. Now I'm rolling like shit. I got a 7. Yeah.
7. 7's enough to hit.
What?
These are dumb zombies. They have 5 evasion. They do not go anywhere. They take everything you throw at them.
118.
Whoa!
Because I got a 98 damage plus the 20 corrosion.
Oh, and what damage type is it?
Beam is
It's
for the
beam,
laser
right?
sidearm. Yeah, and it's got a corrosive added.
So that is going to go as far as that shot can go, which I believe is 12 squares. It's going to bore 12 squares through that first target, through the next, like disintegrating them.
I think it's 24 squares.
Then it goes 24 squares. You get even more taken out.
Nice.
Clean through the group. You had one in front of you, and you just shoot clean through the dead center mass again. Taking them out. Alright. Nice. So now, has everyone done what they want to do before the enemy turn?
Actually, I'm going to use. So I can do a quick healing serum, right?
You have a healing serum. That's, is using a stim what kind of an action? I'm trying to think if it's standard. It's standard.
Yeah, never mind.
I think. Did I just get attacked or did I attack?
You did attack.
Okay. Never mind.
And then they're gonna, because usually when you are attacked, it's almost the same as you attacking.
Okay, right.
just all the digestion. Because that's what's gonna happen next. Klex is taking the brunt of this right now, as a whole bunch more are gonna try rushing in after the mountain that is Klex. Could you give me a grapple check?
I got 84.
Because they're going to be on you. Alright, and that's going to outbeat the grapple. So they're going to try to go for some damage. And you're going to consume what you can as they're doing damage. So it's going to be a battle of how much health you have, how much damage they can do before getting consumed. Because it'll be enough to deteriorate them. So to simplify this, what is your health at currently?
Max 555.
Alright.
If they do
That
any
is-
sort of slashing or piercing, I get poison on them.
Alright. So, this is what's going to happen here. That's...
Scared.
Alright. That is 277 slashing damage. They are consumed, they are disintegrated, but from that slashing damage, your blood is going to go outward. onto the battlefield. It was poisonous blood, correct?
Yes. So,
These guys are
okay.
immune to poison.
Oh, farts then.
But you do kill all of those that you consume. So there is like about 20 dudes rushed into you. What was that?
Okay.
I'm sorry, 19 guys rushed into you, and you just consume them all. And they're very dead. They're trying what they can, but it's not working.
And I'm sorry, healing comes before damage, correct?
Yes. Wait.
Okay.
I think it depends. Wait, with this, I would do. No. This one would be damage then healing. Like, it's different depending on the situation.
So
Like, this one was they kind of went on you and attacked you, and then you ate them.
I'm invincible.
Yeah, Klex is just in the front eating these low health guys, doing good. Beam weapons going off, coming into effect. And there's Yeeklisk and more Undead doing the best they can, trying to get some damage in. So the total of their damage is, because you don't have much evasion, so they're just trying to lean in and do the minuses, because I'm not doing any of the minuses. That is 176 bludgeoning damage, as you are attacked with hammers and tackled and bludgeoned around by this small group repeatedly trying to slam into you. But you don't falter, you take those hits. Standing firm, you all know that you're about to end this. Tex-Mex. You're evasive. Shots ring off and miss you. Subjects run forward, trying to tackle you over, throw you into the wall, and nothing is working. I'm getting 20s here. I'm getting crap. I rolled a 2. So the guy who... So pretty much a whole group tried to jump you, do their thing, were completely ineffective, missed every strike, and one of the zombies is gonna rip himself in half. That being said, it is now the party's turn. The undead has whittled. You have taken down their numbers. There's only so much they can do to you. It is now time to plan the final strike.
Well, I'm willing to try and grapple everyone around me or still on me that I didn't get before.
Alright, so you're going to take your turn for one big grab?
Yep.
Alright, they continue to try to pile in and get in on you. This is 22 of them. Just
I got a 30.
whole massive groups of these guys. You got that grapple check?
32.
Alright, that's going to beat theirs. You engulf 20 plus zombie mutant cyborg cowboys into your mass
That worked?
and envelop them. Yup.
Okay. Get acid damage.
You use your whole turn to do a great big, and you're just sapping in so many of them. More are trying to spawn where you stand, and they instantly get engulfed. And you see almost like a line of suction. They're just being drawn into you and don't know any better.
64 acid damage.
Alright. That is going to deplete those you have consumed. And it's looking good. Tex-Mex.
Alright. I'm gonna fire off his sidearm again with 54 to hit.
Firing off into the group. Fortunately, with Klex taking out a majority of it, you see a nice line of a whole bunch of them shooting that sidearm directly into it. Give me a roll for damage.
54.
You are going to blast clean through, making that funnel even more fine for Klex to consume. Yeeklisk. With victory soon to be held, what do you do?
I'm going to attack with my Everbleed sword again. 51 to hit.
That'll hit.
96 points of damage.
Nice. So doing a general swing in front of you, you manage to finish off one of those large, ancient beasts of burden, and manage to take down the zombie riding it and the one to the left as they topple into each other, collapse, and crush by the weight. With that being done, with the last large beast toppled and fallen, there is now a complete funnel, bringing all the undead into Klex. And due to how we see how Klex takes the damage from these undead, we can speed up the process. Klex consumes the remainder of the undead, goes to full health. As the undead continue to pile and pile and pile, eventually the undead are gone. Klex is the one remaining. All those scars healed by consuming the undead. Buzzard shows himself again upon the task's completion, lowers the large-toothed door from your only escape. As he prowls around, he flaps into the night, the heavy moon lifts, and feathers fall down to the marks on your body. You feel the marks become lifted. Any reapers, bounty hunters, soul collectors seems that they will no longer be after you. The chains of the past, redeeming your death, it's been done. You know you can move forward onto different things now. It has been lifted. After a short time, you can see the lemon hang overhead in the sky.
Hey, number 96 said everything worked out okay. You ready to hop aboard? Clock out?
Yeah,
Just
let's go
glad
home.
I'm glad I don't have to, be born again.
Yeah, because if you guys die again, you might be gone for good. You gotta be careful. Hop aboard the lemon.
Aboard the lemon, you were quickly whisked away to the dark and evil place known as Cusk Industries.
Okay, this is about as far as I go. Number 96 wants to talk with you. He's got something to show you.
Sure he does.
A large metallic door hisses open with number 96 waiting on the other side. Oh, come on in. Get in here. You've been doing good. I've been really happy to see all of your progress. You're making strides. You gotta get the Reaper off your back. Get his nails out of you, you know? Now, I don't have to worry about you guys getting yanked off away from me. You can't just be pulling me left and right, you know? I want to show you what you guys have been doing. Come on. Check it out. I got something really cool to show you. Do you want to see it? I'll show you.
Yep.
Just behind that door. A second door hisses open. He brings everyone hither into the dark and dank corridor. Ooh, here's the boy. Check him out. Doesn't he look excellent? Within the tube, you can see the warrior whose data all of your adventures are going towards. Floating around in a tube, his translucent skin is now a bronze and tan. The bony crown coming from his head is more of a thorny crown now, less raw at its beginnings. His mighty appearance is larger, and he seems to be more developed, less than the fetal state that you saw prior. He's growing, and he's doing great. Combaticus is our greatest creation, and he's gonna be spectacular. He's not ready yet, but just look at him. He's coming along so nice. The tube begins to shake. An alarm goes off. Bubbles in the water begin to crackle away. Ooh, someone's getting frisky in there. What's going on, Combaticus? Do you got something to say? Come on, speak up. Number 96 begins ogling the tube. You can hear the being within the tube is trying to utter something. Let's see, what does he have to say? Come on. I know you got it. Some humanity in that big body of yours. My name is Combaticron. Combaticron. When I get on out of this tube, I'm gonna wreak havoc. I'm gonna stare into a candle all night, and I'm gonna eat every stick of deodorant in a square mile radius. I'm gonna scrape my teeth against the pavement, and I'm gonna bleed on the nearest dinosaur. Well, he's got quite a bit to say. Jeez Louise. Alright, he needs to take a nap. I see he's getting influenced by you guys. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna absorb all of these little people in my gelatinous mass. They're gonna get sucked up and encompassed by all that is the warrior. Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. So now, my creation, what do you think? Is that your name? Yes, I mean, it's not original, but I guess Combaticron, Combaticus. We'll let him keep Combaticron. It suits him. I'll change the label. You can see him kind of flexing and writhing around in the tube, no longer speaking, eyes completely closed. He's not done yet, but you all are sending him on a good course. I want you all to get some rest. I want your bed to be your best friend for the next while. And when we meet again, we'll send you on another mission. This time, you got no strings holding you down, and we can go wild. Let's come up with something crazy. Let's have a good time, and I'm talking off the rails. And then, maybe, this guy can start to wake up. So, you got anything else before you go off on the lemon and head on home? 'Cause I'm about finished here.
Is that guy gonna try to kill us?
I don't know what he wants. I just know what he needs. He has a thirst. An extreme thirst for conquest, vengeance, and violence. It doesn't need to make sense. He's our gladiator of our design. You know, it's never good. The gladiators have never served our people well. Have you ever heard of Humbaba the Terrible? It's an old fable. It was in the story of Gilgamesh, I think. Almost a precursor to the Council of Fairies, if you will. You know, fairies protecting nature about what they will. Then poof, a powerful individual that can take things into his own hands shows up. Changes the situation. Now we want that leverage. You can have all the powers in the world with one good hammer blow. This was too much for some people. Any other questions for little old me before you go on that big lemon-shaped thing?
I think that about covers it for me.
Well, then sleep easy, rest tight. I'll see you chickadees later. Number 96 slithers back into the depths of Cusk Industries, and you all go off into the lemon and are whisked away to your various homes, where you are to catch rest, recuperate, and eagerly await the next adventure. Because who knows what's around the corner, or when Combatacron will awake. And yeah, that is it. That's the session. What did y'all think?
Cool.
I had
Cool.
a fun time.
Oh, it was
I
fun.
thought I was going to die for sure.
It worked real good.
I got low a couple times, but you know, absorbing 20 people helps.
Yes, the large number of low health individuals funneling and a lot of the high damage attacks whittling down enemies worked good. The use of beam damage. So yeah, that was awesome. For next time, I'm open to suggestions. Let me know. I have ideas for an overarching thing and stuff that will and can happen. But let me know what you have ideas for the next one. Different flavors for adventure, things you want to do, ideas, anything. Any ideas off the top of your heads, or could I await responses?
That poisonous blood can affect.
Yes, it tends to not affect undead or machine things. So like undead mutant cyborg cowboys, that's like the big... They have a poison immunity, but any attack that hits them bores through them because they're not whole, you know, bunch of holes in their body. So everything kind of seeps through to the next guy.
Excited, and then I was crushed. It was fun though. It was a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, just keep me posted and everything. I definitely have a lot of fun stuff planned down the pipes. And yeah, it was awesome playing. I'll talk to y'all later.
So,
See ya.
bye.
See ya.
Tyson.